Assalamu alaikum viewers. In today's video we will tell you about those predictions of The Simpsons that are proving to be dangerously true. This is no longer just a cartoon, but a series that has repeatedly shown glimpses of the future. Sometimes it announces in advance that Donald Trump will become president. Sometimes it shows the destruction of a global pandemic. And now the prediction has come forward that Trump will be afflicted with a serious disease. And the surprising thing is that the same scenes have now become a reality before the world. But this story is not limited only to Trump's illness. The Simpsons also made such a prediction about Pakistan, which today, in 2025, terrifyingly resembles the devastating floods, the same floods that swept away villages, destroyed fields, and forced millions of families to take shelter in tents. The shocking part is that The Simpsons showed all of this years ago in the form of a cartoon. So is this all just coincidence, or do the creators of this cartoon really possess some secret hidden from the eyes of the world? Viewers, if we look back at history, The Simpsons first predicted Donald Trump's presidency many years ago in an episode. At that time, viewers took it as a joke because Trump becoming president in American politics was beyond imagination. But when Trump actually entered the White House, the world drowned in astonishment. This was not the first time. Apart from that, The Simpsons also showed glimpses of many other events which later became reality. But now, the prediction that is being fulfilled has shaken the entire world. We are talking about the announcement of Donald Trump's illness. The American president has always been known for his strength, courage, and fearlessness, but recently in a press conference he made such an admission that shocked not only his supporters, but the whole world. In front of all journalists, Trump announced that he is suffering from a serious and dangerous disease. As soon as these words were heard, silence filled the conference hall. The same Trump who always answered every question with confidence appeared for the first time as a weak and exhausted man. His voice was heavy, and those powerful expressions had vanished from his face, which had always been his hallmark. Trump said in his typical manner, "I am no longer the person I used to be. This disease is indeed serious, but I will fight it." As soon as these sentences were heard, a storm erupted in media worldwide. Analysts called it not just a medical issue but an earthquake in global politics, because a man considered a symbol of world power today appeared weak at the hands of illness. And this news was shocking not just for Americans, but for the whole world. Dear friends, remember that years ago in one episode of The Simpsons, Donald Trump was shown lying on a hospital bed, weak and sick. At that time, people laughed it off. After all, who could think that one day America's powerful president would actually appear in the same state? But today, when Trump himself announced his illness, the world felt like that cartoon scene had come alive again. The surprising thing is that in that episode, the environment, the expressions of weakness, and the hospital scene all frighteningly resembled today's situation. That is why people have made that old clip viral again on social media. Now the question is whether this was merely a coincidence, or do the creators of The Simpsons have some way of seeing the future? Because such major events being shown beforehand in a cartoon is not an ordinary thing, and this makes the matter even more mysterious. Friends, this is not the first time that The Simpsons' predictions proved astonishingly true, but this cartoon series has for decades been showing such realities that leave people stunned. And now, when the world has entered the year 2025, once again the predictions of The Simpsons are echoing in everyone's minds. We are talking about the recent floods in Pakistan that are currently destroying the lives of millions. Experts had already warned that this year in the rainy season there would be unusual rains, and today we see that those predictions have become reality. Major cities are submerged, roads look like rivers, bridges have collapsed, and villages have turned into piles of mud. Rivers and streams are uncontrollable, sweeping away settlements. This scene does not look new, because if you watch old episodes of The Simpsons, you will find exactly such things shown there. Strong water currents, people taking refuge on rooftops, and a helpless government standing by. At that time, perhaps everyone laughed and ignored it, But today, when Pakistan is actually passing through these scenes, the whole world is forced to think how The Simpsons showed all this years ago. Dear friends, it is also surprising that after 2010 and 2022, the flood of 2025 has proven far more destructive than both. Millions have become homeless, standing crops are destroyed, and the economy has taken another severe blow. Agricultural lands once called golden fields are now buried under seas of mud and water. Basic crops like cotton, wheat, and rice have completely drowned, leaving farmers bankrupt. Experts say this time after the flood, the food crisis will become worse than ever. Meanwhile, old Simpsons clips are going viral again on social media. In one episode, the scene shown frighteningly resembles Pakistan's current situation. Houses submerged in water, people waiting for help on rooftops, and a system that has become completely paralyzed. Pakistani users are asking whether this is all just coincidence or whether there is some power that determines the world's future events in advance. Some people believe that The Simpsons writers deeply observed world politics, environment, and natural disasters and created such scenes on that basis. But others do not consider it a chain of coincidences. They say this is part of a big world plan which is first shown to the world in the form of a cartoon, so that when it happens in reality, people may be shocked but cannot completely deny it. Dear friends, at this moment, millions of families in Pakistan are forced to take shelter in tents. Children are suffering from hunger and diseases. Women are traveling miles for clean drinking water, and the elderly are shedding tears seeing their ruined homes. These scenes are heart-shaking, but the shock increases when you remember that The Simpsons showed all this years ago. That is why, with every passing moment, this question grows stronger. Where do The Simpsons get this information from? Is this cartoon just entertainment, or is it part of some secret system that reveals the world's biggest secrets in its own style? Pakistan's recent flood, while a human tragedy, is also once again proof that the distance between reality and cartoons has become very small. If in the past The Simpsons' predictions proved true, is it possible that major future events are also hidden in this cartoon? This is the question that today every Pakistani has in mind, and you too must definitely give your answer in the comments.